The art of becoming lean is one of the most slept on things that people really just don't understand. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly the type of areas you need to really dial in to become the leanest, most sharpest version of yourself. So the art of becoming lean is multiple different categories. You first have to understand your own environment. A lot of people can't seem to grab the awareness of looking in your own situation and really just being like, this is not good for me, right? There's a lot of social peer pressure in your own environment, which you really haven't been paying attention. And that's the only reason why you're not in shape, because if everyone around you had abs, you'd also have abs. It's the Pareto principle. It's the rule of one principle. It's all of the principles mixed in one. So whenever your environment looks exactly like the goals that you want, you become that person. Because in terms of alignment and vibrational frequency, if everything is aligned and you're not aligned, then by nature, by force, by sheer alignment, you will be as well. So you have to really understand your own environment. A lot of people's environments is there's 5 people in the group, 4 of them are fat, and 1 person doesn't want to be fat. You're still probably fat, right? So you need to understand what are the key things are happening on the day to day from a nuanceical understanding. So when I mean nuanceical, I mean the slight things in your day that you're not picking up on that is gaining you calories day by day. What is it? Is it that extra tea that you have? Is it the 4 cups of coffee with milk, with cream and sugar that you add on, plus the burgers, but you'll say to yourself, I'm still eating healthy. Don't sabotage your mind. Remove yourself. Remove how you currently think. Remove the ability to really dive in on certain thoughts, because your mind just has a bunch of thoughts, right? And you just pick and choose the best one at the time that soothes your whole situation. But that's not really how you should be looking at your mind. You should only be filtering the best possible positive thoughts, right? And everything else should just be absolutely bypassed, right? In my head, I'm thinking, should I go in KFC and buy this takeaway? Should I buy takeaway tonight? Should I go to the shop and chat to boss man and buy Haribo's, Pringles, all of these things? But it's just a thought in my mind. It just really doesn't hold weight, right? But it holds weight in your environment. And whatever that looks like to you is the reason why you're not in shape. So you really got to sit down and understand from your own situation. Everyone's situation is specific to them. So I can never tell you the exact situation. That's why when you listen to people and they're like, do this, do that, they don't know your exact situation. So they can't really tell you what to do. But you can understand that the awareness is the first step. The second step is the emotional triggers to actually taking action. And I had to really understand this, and this is going to be a little bit deep. So when my mum passed away, guys, I literally locked off half of myself and threw away the key. So I got so emotionally numb to the point where it was just like, what can I do to just remove myself from feeling this type of emotion ever in my life? So I just naturally gave into a lot of drugs and all this sort of stuff, right? But you have to understand the emotional cue, the emotional charge this has, and you have to replace it or either become aware of it to then consciously stop it, and then that will filter into your subconscious mind, the emotional realm, I call it. Because when you're not asleep is when everything starts to build, right? You're conscious. So you make decisions to not do something, but you do it anyway. Why is that? That's your subconscious, right? You're consciously trying to stop it, but you do it anyway. Like, have you ever wondered why the fuck are you doing that? It's your subconscious mind. It's the emotional realm that has more charge. It has more weight for you to do those actions. And I noticed, like, I just become completely numb to society. And you have the different teachings of philosophers. I'm thinking of a philosopher, but it actually leaves my mind right now. Is it Socrates or is it Marcus Aurelius? I think it's Marcus Aurelius that talks about being stoic, right? Just being able to navigate the situation based off of your own understanding and emotional control. But I think there's a nuance to that as well, where you have emotional control, but then you also let your emotions filter out as well. And naturally, you'll be able to pick up on this, where it's like, I'm not being the best version of myself that I know I can be. Why am I being so stern? Why am I being so stiff? Why can't I just be loose, right? And society has programmed us to be so masculine in the sense where we don't show our emotions. That's the worst thing you can do ever, like, period. You want to have emotional control where you know when it's right to show your emotions. Obviously, you're not being so, like, emotionally inept and you're just crying all the time. You're all sad and you're all, like, in the mood, hear it like every other day. Emotional control, emotional regulation is super important, because then you can really separate yourself from emotionally eating. And that's what a lot of people do. If you're stressed out at work, then you're going to find a way to emotionally eat. If you're stressed out in any situation, your cortisol rises, and then you're going to emotionally eat something. And that's a build-up of you not having that emotion regulation. So you have to be in emotional control, right? And the other thing is then the action. You have to understand the weight of doing the daily inputs. The mad thing is, people are so obsessed about the outcome. Stop caring so much about having the abs, looking like an absolute Greek god right now. It's never happening, guys. If you're out of shape, it's never happening right now, but be okay with that, because eventually it will. So instead of caring about that, care about the daily inputs of what you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis. Like, what are you actually doing to move the needle forward on a day-to-day basis? Most people will tell you, yeah, I eat healthy, and then the weekend looks like shit. They drink a lot, they have takeaways because they reward themselves from eating okay from Monday to Tuesday, or Monday to Thursday, or Monday to Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday is like, what are you actually doing? But the thing is, you can actually just have a completely better diet. People that do that, they just don't know how to eat correctly, right? There's so many different opportunities here. If you're someone that has been eating ultra-processed foods for a long time, I don't even need to say what ultra-processed foods is at this point, right? For a long time, and you're trying to eat whole foods, there's going to be a lot of friction there. You know, there's going to be a lot of friction between you trying to actually just sit down and eat eggs with some seasoned pink salt or whatever, or sweet potatoes with minced meat or chicken breast or whatever it is. There's going to be friction there. And that's what you need to bypass, is the friction required. But you need to understand that if it feels like there's a brick wall or something that you can't put a name on that is stopping you, that's exactly what you need to run towards. So if you can encompass this all in one, then that's when you know that you're on an absolute cruise control to getting to exactly the result you want. It's just your expectation is completely skewed. And that's the problem. A lot of people's expectation is skewed because what they watch is just the outcome constantly. How about you just watch people from when they first started, right? And then you'll understand, oh shit, this takes time. Like everything else, everything takes time, guys. Literally everything takes time. And it's just about understanding that expectation and moving to doing the daily inputs required every single day. You don't miss a daily input. there was this thing, I can't remember who said it, but if you miss a day, it's okay. But if you miss 2 days, then you're starting to form a habit. So never miss anything for more than 2 days, or else you're building a habit that goes against what you actually want to do. And that should be a good sort of rule for you to navigate doing the daily inputs. If it becomes hard, if situations happen, I know obviously life can occur and stuff, but a day should be the benchmark, right? That's it. Obviously, I hope this video helped you guys. I hope this video is honestly going to change your life in terms of getting you in shape as soon as possible, because honestly, guys, if you're not in shape, you're missing the actual game. Like, you're missing the other half of life, where it's like people just stare at you because you just look different from everyone else. You look on point. And if you haven't gotten to that stage, you need to be doing your daily inputs. If you guys want some help to actually get this goal, I'm a fitness coach. I help people get to this goal. I did it for these guys here as well. So do hit me up on Instagram, shoot me a little message, and I'll see what I can do to improve your situation. I'll do a free analysis, just so you know exactly what to do, just so we can have a chat. And then from then on, we'll work together and get you to your goal before the end of 2026. Peace out, guys.